Hi guys, starting a new series today, North Node in Capricorn. So I'm wearing my general's jacket because things are about to get serious. Capricorn is solid, Capricorn is responsible, Capricorn is serious. Probably the most serious zodiac sign and probably the most hardworking zodiac sign, the most solid, I have Capricorn South Node, so everything you're going to hear is going to come straight from the source. It's very comfortable for me to be in that sign. So, whatever I'll be speaking about is going to come from personal experience. All right, before we talk about North Node in Capricorn, we're going to talk about the South Node in Cancer. What does that mean? Your lifetimes, your previous lifetimes, your memories all have to do with being a nurturer. You guys mastered the idea of nurturing. You guys had many lifetimes where people relied on you for emotional support. You were the one who, make sure the household was fed, everybody was warm, everybody was happy, everybody was comfortable. You were the one who was, the shoulder for people to cry on. You were that mother, the mother hen. You were the midwife. You were the one that, you have a lot of lifetimes of bringing babies into this world. You have a lifetimes of nurturing babies. You have a lot of lifetimes, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. You're going to have that. You're going to be very much in touch with your feminine energy. You're very intuitive. You know how to read people. You know how to feel emotions. Sometimes you feel them too much, but you have a lot of empathy, a lot of compassion. You always have a little, you'll always find compassion in your heart. As a matter of fact, your heart chakra is probably super open. You just feel for everybody and you want to protect everybody and nurture everybody. In the South Node in Cancer, it could also be protectors, because just as you could have been a woman in a female role, as a mother, you could have also been a protector of your home, of your land. Cancer is your homeland, your roots. So you could have been police workers. A lot of times have, associated with the sign of Cancer, being of service where you're protecting, where you are nurturing through force, maybe. Firefighters, those kind of ideas. First responders, a lot of times could kind of fit the Cancer South Node bill. So you're always there to help somebody, always there to lend a hand, to mother them. You wanted everybody around you to feel comfortable, cozy, warm, fed, happy, smiling, tucked in, and then you're like, okay, I feel good about myself. As a matter of fact, you give yourself life by always feeling like you have to nurture everybody. You always assume that role of a mother. If you're going to a party, you're probably the one that's like, hey, can I get you a drink? Hey, would you like a refill? Would you like something? Can I get you a blanket? Can I take your coat? It always comes out in you. That's how you know yourself. Another manifestation of South Node in Cancer could have been where instead of being that, that was the good part. The bad part about the South Node, because South Node is always where you went to the extreme, has to do with the idea of just as much as you were mothering, you're also smothering. You were too much. You were overwhelming with your, you were that mom that was like, you can never leave me. You have to stay with me. You have to take care of me. You could have been the mom that was, you don't know yourself unless you are nurturing somebody. Or unless you are being nurtured. You don't know yourself without people surrounding you. You don't know yourself on your own. So, smothering, being, I can't live without you. You can't leave. I know you're grown up. I know you want to go have your own family, but you can't leave me. I'm your mother. Emotional blackmail, that's there. We all know the syndrome, Munchausen syndrome, Munchausen by proxy, where the mother will keep their kids sick on purpose so that she can keep nurturing them. So she makes them better and then she gets them sick again. So she feeds them drugs, she nurtures them, she brings them soup, and she fulfills that role as a mother. But she doesn't see that, holy shit, what are you doing? This is not nurturing anymore. This is not motherly anymore. This is toxic. So toxic emotions, guilt, it's your duty. A lot of familial guilt will be there. You have lifetimes where there was a lot of, I'm thinking about nationalities where that idea of the motherhood is really strong, like Italian families, mother's always right, don't fuck with my mom, don't talk shit about my mom, that kind of idea. Jewish families where the idea of the mother, mother's always right, very matriarchal societies. So just as you are nurturing, you're also, in a sense, toxic to your kids because you never wanted to let them go and you're always involved in their life. You're always there with your fucking advice that nobody needs. You're always there meddling in their affairs, probably coming between your son and his wife, creating drama. You know, you love that family drama. You're comfortable with that. You don't know yourself without it. Another negative manifestation could be that you were, instead of being that mother that took charge and ran the household, you were maybe the one that never got to grow up. You were the one that was always a child. You were always the one that never took responsibility, the one that everybody always helped, the one that everybody always lifted up and took care of. And you never got to be in that role of a provider, of like taking charge. Whether you're a girl or a guy, you're always the one that was kind of like, I'm shy, I can't do it on my own. Can you please help me? So you are really codependent on others around you, you know. So you're always kind of like, can you come with me? Can you come hold my hand? Can you go with me to the doctor? Hey, I gotta go take care of some paperwork at the DMV. Can you come with me? You know, you always need somebody to go with you. So you did not learn to stand on your own 2 feet. With all of that said, if we move into the North Node in Capricorn in the first, you are being asked, you need to step up to the plate. Capricorn is structured. Capricorn is not emotional. Capricorn is never volatile in their emotions. Capricorn, you know, has a thick skin. Capricorn is solid, is practical, is hardworking. Like I said, it's one of the most hardworking signs in the zodiac. You know, it does not mind hard work. You need to step up. You need to step up in leadership positions. You need to step up in positions where you're taking care of yourself, because you took care of others in other lifetimes or they took care of you, but you never really stood on your own 2 feet and took care of yourself. You have to do that now. Capricorn North Node says and will do what he said. It's a very strong North Node because you're literally here to let go of those toxic ideas of family obligation, traditions, all that shit that keeps you in this obligation, duty, guilt, you know, Greek societies, everywhere where the mother is very strong. You know, those ideas, you got to get away from that. You got to be on your own 2 feet. You're here to stand on your own 2 feet. And you're going to have a lot of experiences in this lifetime where you will be left alone. You'll be left on your own. Your husband might leave you if you're a woman, or your parents might kick you out of the house, but you're here to stand on your own 2 feet. You're here to be solid. You're here to build a structure. You're here to build a career. Let's say you were always a housewife. You're here to work, guys, but don't be afraid of it because you're going to find your strength. You need to know your strength. And your strength, you can still nurture people, but you're going to do it from a leadership position. You're going to be, you know, solid. You're going to be that father figure. You know, you're going to find the masculine parts in you, bravery in you. You know, Capricorn is not afraid of responsibility. Capricorn walks into a room and says, everybody relax, I'm here. That's going to have to be you. Okay, so it could be a tough lifetime because when you go from a south node that has to do with emotions and you know, confusion and heaviness and drama, to go to a north node where it's literally no drama, self-sufficiency, self-reliance, it can be hard because you're so scared. What if I don't make it? What if I can make it on my own? Yes, you can. Okay, you're ready for it. You're ready to step into that role of CEO, a leader, director, whatever situation that calls for leadership and being on your own, you have to step into it because you'll find how fucking strong you are, and you'll blend beautifully your emotional sensitivity and your intuition with your practicality, and it's going to be a beautiful picture. Okay, all right guys, now let's dive into each house individually to see what more specifically what we're working with. Okay, don't go anywhere. North Node in Capricorn in the 10th house. All right. Before we dive into that, let's talk about South Node in Cancer in the 4th. So Cancer, it's in its own house. So imagine that. A lot of water here. A lot of water. And what do I mean by that? The good part about Cancer in the 4th is that you had many lifetimes where you're a homemaker. You had many lifetimes where you spend close to your family like this. Lifetime after lifetime, where you never left your home, never left your house, never left your family, never left your parents. You wrapped your world around them. You wrapped your world around your country, around traditions, around your tribe. You know, you really dedicated and sacrificed yourself for your home. If you are, so you're very good at that. You know, if you're a woman, you're very good at making a home that's comfy, that's cozy. You know, there's always food on the table. Everything is always, you know, ironed, and it's a nice place to come home to. It's cozy, it's nice, you know, it's comfortable, it's warm. The perfect housewife is the 4th house Cancer. Perfect housewife. That colonial wife, I'm thinking, the one that's at home and she's making quilts. You probably have, you can do anything in the house as a woman. You know, you can sew, you can cook, you can iron, you can everything, and you fulfill your wifely duties, because that's what I'm going to tell you guys. In the 4th house Cancer, everything stemmed from duty. Cancer is nurturing, but in the 4th house, all of that was done from duty. All of that was done from the idea that you bought into, that I have to do it. If I don't do it, it's never going to get done. My family needs me. I can't leave them. Great scenarios. Many movies about that. A great one that I watched recently was What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Perfect representation of Cancer South Node in the 4th, where the guy, Johnny Depp, had to take care of his own family. He had to take care of his mom, his autistic brother, the sisters, had to work there, had to, you know, everybody was relying on him, and he could never get away from that. But the idea is that you, there's a lot of anger there too, because it's not done out of love, it's done out of duty. And when duty is there and guilt is there, there's also anger, because there's a part in you guys that is done with that. There's a part in you that almost hates your family, because you're like, fuck, I wish I could just have time to myself. I wish I could just get away from all of them. Just like the guy in the movie. If you have this nodal position, watch this movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? And you'll see it. You'll see the codependency. You'll see the guilt. You'll see the emotional manipulation of like, you can't leave us. We can't go on without you, you know. So very tied to your home. There's 2 manifestations here. One where you are the caretaker. You are the one that you're doing everything for your family. You know, if you're a wife, you're doing everything for your husband. You never take care of yourself. You're always for the husband, for the kids, for the family, for the house, everything but yourself. Second one is you are the child that's just never grows up. That's always dependent on the family. You know, always parents take care of you, and it never ends, and you're just scared. You're scared of the outer world, because if you live in that comfortable environment, you don't really know what's out there. So of course, if the family is together and they you know, there could be a lot of fear with Cancer in the 4th, because you know, they're kind of telling each other, you know, the world out there is so scary, you know, I'm so glad that we have each other, you know. So it's discouraging from doing things on your own, from getting away and exploring the world. It's making you think that the world out there is scary, and we have to have each other. We need each other, and I'm so glad that we have each other. That's the idea here. And then the idea is that if you leave, there's a huge amount of guilt. And when I think about practical examples, I'm thinking about different idea of families, like Irish family, the huge idea of the housewife that's just killing herself, but she's taking care of everybody. Lots of kids, she's feeding all of them and taking care of the husband. Another one could be Russian families, Eastern European families, you know, Asian families where everybody's on top of each other. You know, they live together, they depend on each other. It's a very codependent environment. It's not based on love. If Cancer is in the South Node in the 4th, it's not based on love. It's based on guilt, on duty, and on fear also. Fear of the outside world, guilt to disappoint the family, and duty that if I don't do this, who's going to do it? That's the sick part of Cancer. I love it. So yeah, so living on top of each other, the cycle is that the parents take care of the kid grows up, and they all stay there, and the kid takes care of the parents, and then the grandkids, and they're all together, and the cycle continues. You know, one generation dies, the other one gets older, and it's like that. So you can imagine what's happening here. Not a lot of progress. The kids also never get kicked out of the nest, because the parents need them, to take care of them. You know, they need, first of all, they need somebody to take care of, and secondly, they need the kids to take care of them. You know, that idea of families where the kids were actually not made out of love, but they were made out of necessity. You know, if we make a lot of them, we'll have somebody to take care of us when we're old. You know, back home where I'm from, Eastern Europe, there's this idea that, you know, well, who's going to give you a cup of water when you're old? That's why you got to have kids. And that's kind of idea. And sometimes my mom would tell me, like, man, I wish I had more kids because you don't want to help me. If I had more, they would be able to help me. See what I'm saying? So it's not so much because you want kids, because you love them, you want to nurture them, but because you are looking at them as something to use. That could also be Cancer in the 5th house. We'll talk about that later. So yes, you get the idea. Very tied to family, toxic relationships, toxic ties, you know, afraid to leave home, afraid to leave your country, afraid to leave your comfort zone. Very set in your home. Everything happens at home. You know, your sadness, your happiness, everything is tied to the family. So you don't have a world of your own. So with Capricorn in the 10th, Capricorn is in its own house, 10th house, house of ambition, house of achievement, house of being out there. I challenge you with this position, guys, you need to be out there. You need to leave your stagnant family environments. I don't care if you don't like it, you have to, because you are so used to codependent relationships with your family that you don't know who you are. You don't know your own strength. You don't know your own power. You don't know what you're capable of. You're so scared of the world out there because you think that it's, you know, it's going to swallow you alive. But why don't you try it out and see what's actually out there? It might surprise you. You got to cut the cords. You got to cut the cords of guilt. You will feel guilt. You will feel a lot of manipulation. In Jewish societies, you know, Hasidic societies, once again, it's based on family, tradition. You know, wife is at home, she does this, this, and this. Husband provides, and we keep going like that. So, and there's a lot of fear to leave communities like that because you're so afraid because you don't know what's out there. Well, you need to find out what's out there for yourself. You're here to be in positions of authority, guys. You're here to be your own authority. You're here to take care of yourself. You're here to be ambitious. You're here to set goals and achieve them. You have so much in you, talents in you that want to be explored, talents of leadership, talent of being some kind of in charge person. Big scale CEO, small scale leader. You're here to be leaders. You're here to be practical, fearless, confident, believe in yourself. Go try. You know, you'll never know your strength and power if you're sitting at home by your mom's skirt washing dishes. You can't. Same thing with housewives. You know, if you have this nodal position, you'll see a lot of scenarios where whatever you're doing at home is still not enough. Your kids are probably dicks to you because they're using you. Everybody's dumping everything on you. Mom, I need to do this. Mom, I can't do it without you. Mom, you have to do this. You got to get away from that loving, faithful, beautiful wife, you know, that colonial wife that sits at home and makes quilts. No, you're done with that. You know, this is an expansion, emancipation. This is the North Node of emancipation. You got to be out there. If you're a woman, definitely find your power, find your strength in this world. And it's not related to your family. Find it on your own. You can have your own business. With all your talents and skills that you have of managing a household, of taking care of everybody, you can have your own business. You can have, you know, your own CEO, CFO, whatever. You know, you're here to be prominent. You're here to hold a prominent position. Do not be afraid of the outside world. I know it's beckoning you because you're so freaking tired of taking care of this stagnating, guilt-ridden, duty-ridden, obligation-ridden environment. You know, it's going to be hard for you because the voice inside of you is going to tell you, you know, you can't do this. You can't do this. If you leave, who's going to take care of them? Don't worry about them. They'll create somebody. They'll find somebody to take care of them. Somebody who needs to learn how to take care of people. You don't. You know that. Like this. You're here to take care of yourself. You're here to step into a role of authority. You're here to be powerful. You're here to wear a suit. No more aprons. Okay? And bonnets. A suit. Nice. Sexy. Yeah. All right, guys? That's it. Have fun. Don't be afraid. Go explore. You have a lot of power in you that wants to come out. Yeah.